Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Welcome to the Liberian Perspective. Family, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. Hey, family, I got to go ahead and get into this live stream. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, guys. So welcome to the live stream. Straight off the top, if you are here, say hi, hello, whoever's watching. Straight off the bat, I've been under the weather for some odd reason. Something came through this house and tried to ravish us. So if you haven't noticed, I haven't really posted any videos this week. Yeah, something weird came in, grabbed my young one. He spread it around and we was all out, boy. Last night I'm over there shivering. I'm like, yo, it's almost game day and I'm out here shivering. I'm not gonna be able to do nothing. What is going on? So yeah, after shivering last night, I finally got enough energy to get up and do something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna record a video. I'm going to just go live. Let me talk to my people and let my people talk to me. So yeah, I wanted to talk about Oregon. I think I uploaded like one video where I did some preseason information about what to look for as far as Oregon is concerned. By now, I know a lot of you guys have watched videos all over the internet with everybody talking about the strengths and the weaknesses for Oregon and for the Buffs. It's all over the internet. But that's what I basically want to talk to you guys about today, about some strengths and weaknesses of both teams. Because there's enough information out there, there's enough data out there for both teams. Both teams have had an opportunity to pretty much watch each other's tapes. They know what's coming, they know what's not, who's good, who's not, which players they have, which players they don't have. We obviously know that we lost Travis Hunter, so they're going to be adjusting their game plan a little bit, because when you have a double, triple threat like Travis Hunter, you game plan a little differently for a player at that, at that magnitude. And then if you don't have him on there, then you pretty much got to change things up a little bit. So now they're probably going to be passing a little bit more on whatever side Travis Hunter was lining up, or on both sides. They're going to be trying to get to both sides. But let's talk about some of the weaknesses, some of the strengths, and then I want you guys to come on here. For those of you who have knowledge of both teams, if you have knowledge of, obviously, if you have knowledge of Oregon, some weaknesses, some strengths, I want you to come on so we can talk, have a conversation. And if you just want to come on and shoot your shot because you are a BWB, a bandwagon buff, or you're just or you just want an opportunity to just say whatever you got to say, because you're in the comments, we're all talking, everybody's talking past each other, and you want something to say. So Damon, what up? Colorado has to minimize the sacks. Profit, what up, bro? Colorado wasn't open last week. If you are in an environment where you can turn your phone on, have some light, and maybe you sound okay, you want to come on, I put the email on the screen there so you guys can come on and we can talk and have a conversation about what's going to transpire on Saturday. But I had to do a live because I feel like my energy is very low. Whatever, I don't know if it was Omarion that came and tried to grab me, or some type of virus, something came in here, boy. Whew. So I ain't got no time to do a video and edit and all of that. So you're probably going to see me go live for the rest of the week because I ain't got no energy to be editing no video. So let's just talk about it live, and I'll give you what I can give you, and then we'll move on. But I do have, this is a fun live. I do want to give you guys a fun fact about Oregon, how they got their mascot. I did this video for the entire Pac-12, schedule, and I told you about the schedule. So what I want to do is I want to play you this video so you can understand how Oregon, they got the Ducks, the quack quack, how they became the quack quacks. All right, so let's start the video off. Let's start the conversation off with this little video right here so you can understand. It actually makes the game much fun when you're watching the games to understand like how each team got their mascot. I'm over here sitting on this information. Some of you who were here earlier on the channel, you got this information. I just wanted to do a little reminder, a little fun fact about Oregon, how they got the Ducks, and then we'll go. But before I play this video, I want you to also peep something. I want you to peep the prediction, okay? This is a video I did way back, and if you're watching the screen at the bottom right hand of your screen, if you're watching the bottom right hand of the screen, look at what point that I did this video, all right? So without further ado, let's get into why or how Oregon got their mascot, and then, you know, we'll continue the conversation. But this is going to be a fun video. I got some information. I got the Oregon Ducks people. I got some, what's it called? I got some Ducks affiliates people, not affiliate, but I got some Ducks people who are talking about their team, their weaknesses and stuff. I'm going to play some of that with you. I'm going to play some of that for you, but hopefully in fair use, that YouTube will allow me to use that in fair use. But let's go ahead and go and learn a little bit about how Oregon became the Quack Quacks. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Share screen. Just give me a second. Let me share my screen with you. Let's go to StreamYard. So if you are new right now, I am going to be showing you a video on how Oregon became the Ducks. And are you guys seeing the screen? If somebody, Prophet or Damon, if you can type in there, say yes, we see the screen. I want to make sure that the screen is being shown. Before I play the video, I'm going to click on here and I'm going to come back. Just let me know that you're seeing my screen. All right, right now I'm showing my screen. I can't see you guys see the comments, but if you're seeing this screen, please let me know. Let me come back and somebody let me know that you see the screen. We see the screen. Perfect. All right, so awesome. All right, so I'm going to play a few seconds of the audio. Let me know also that you hear the audio. Hey, Annie Rice, how you doing? Dominic, what's up? Dominic Wesley, what up? Old man 1912, what up? All right, let me know if you hear the audio, and then we'll continue, guys. Here we go. Here's a little bit of audio. That's how they got their name. That's why you will see at their games, you will see Cam the Ram, okay? That's how they got Cam the Ram. I don't make this stuff up. This is not coming from me. This is coming from a little bit of research on their site. That's their story, not mine. We're moving right along. Come on, Tony. Tell me, Tony. All right, guys, so hey, Annie. Okay, so y'all hear the audio? Just one person can just tell me. We hear the audio pretty clear. Then I can play the video. If you guys hear the audio, please let me know. And then we'll play the video. It's pretty fun. You guys, when you get an opportunity, go watch that video. It's really fun video. So if you guys heard the audio, please let me know. Just one person, anybody, just please let me know. I don't want to play this. Awesome. Thank you, old man 1912. Here we go. All right. Let's play the video. All right, here we go. This is our crystal ball, baby. Are we doing in this Rocky Mountain Showdown, Tony? Tony Solo is savage. Tony says we are rolling over the Rams. The Buffalo is going to smack the Rams at the stadium, and the score is going to be 49-14. That gives us a little bit of confidence, guys. We're now 3-0, and we're moving on. So September the 23rd, you know it's getting a little colder now. The summer is over. All right, so in week number 4, we are playing the Oregon Ducks. It's starting to get a little colder on the East Coast, so I'm sure it's snowing over there in the mountains. Not snowing yet. Back into school, backpacks are packed. If you live in Colorado, you're on that side of town, what's the temperature like on September the 23rd, like late September? What's the fun fact about Oregon Ducks? What's the fun fact about their mascot? 1890s, right before the turn of the century, they were known as the Webfoots, was a nickname or associated with a group of fishermen who settled on the coast of Massachusetts. They were very instrumental in the American Revolutionary War. They were actually heroes in that war. So in 1926, the school held a naming contest, and the winner of that naming contest was an Oregonian sports editor named L.H. Gregory. So L.H. Gregory decided, listen, that name is pretty cool. These were heroes. Let's honor them, and let's just make this name official. So the Webfoots became official. In the 1920s, they were like, everybody else have animals. Let's find an animal. When you think about web feet, what animal do you think about? Hey, Junior, these feet look like some duck feet. Oh, quack, quack. So they started using the duck as a mascot. They started associating duck with the web feet. Around that time, the sports writers, the headline writers, and the journalists to write their headlines started using duck because it was much easier than web feet. So it wasn't until like the 1940s the image of Donald Duck became associated with the team. But how did they get Donald Duck? So Leo Harris, the athletic director at the time, he made a phone call to his buddy, his homie. He was like, hey, yo, Walt Disney, bro, can we use that duck? Walt Disney was like, sure. They had a handshake, Leo Harris, Walt Disney. With that handshake, they had permission to use Donald Duck as their official mascot. Tell me your favorite mascot story, the one that you heard, the one that... All right, so that is the story on the Oregon Ducks. All right, guys. Hopefully you like that little story. But I did that video, guys. This video is called, let's see, Deion Sanders' gruesome Pac-12 schedule. Expert breaks down game-by-game losses and wins predictions. That was Tony Casolo. And as you can see right there, guys, as you can see right there on your screen, we are 3-0. This video was done 7-something months ago, okay? 7 months ago, and we were 3-0. That was way back then, all right? But yeah, the Oregon Ducks were known as the wet feet or wet foot. So they became the duck. They started using Donald Duck because, you know, their guy caught up, you know, Walt Disney had that handshake, and that's how they became that's how they got to use Donald Duck as their official mascot. So that's a little bit of fun fact I wanted to give you guys, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of edutainment. So anybody who's going to use that email on the screen, I'm going to take that off the screen real soon. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Use that email if you want to come on. If you want to come on so that we can have a discussion about this. This time I'm going to put the air conditioner on. I hope it's not too much because last time I was sweating crazy. So I got to put the air on this time. Hopefully the sound doesn't get drowned out. But let's go, guys. Let's talk about the strengths and the weaknesses. First, let's talk about, and if you guys have anything you want to say in the comments, let me know if anybody makes any dope comments. I'm going to put it on the screen like you see right there. All right. So hot tips at TLP Sports Club. I mean, not club. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com is the email. So I'm going to take that off the screen now. All right. If Alton McCaskill runs like he did when he was in Houston, he's going to. Oh, okay. Right there. Bada bang. That boy Rico. If Alton McCaskill run like he did when he was in Houston, it's going to be a crazy game. LOL. Why are you laughing? That's not good? That's good or bad? Rico, that's not good? That's good, right? So, yes. So let's dig into the strengths of Colorado first. The strengths of Colorado, I believe the first obvious strength is going to be I'm going to start with the staff. I'm going to start with the coaching staff. Not too many people are going to talk about this, but I think the coaching staff is probably going to be the biggest strength. The biggest strength that I don't know if it's a hidden gem, but not too many people ever count Coach Prime as, they're not really associating great coaching with his name. It's kind of weird, but I guess he has to keep proving it on and off, but he has the pedigree not only for X's and O's, but as a good coach, And I would say right now he's a good coach and really fighting for the crown of great coach. Great coaches. His name shall be mentioned in the likes of like being great coaches. All right. So I think that's what is going to pretty much be the difference is the staff. Now, the reason why I say that is because they have a different it's a difference in that locker room. When I wasn't really doing much videos, when I'm not really putting videos up, I'm now starting to put posts on YouTube. I'll put a picture and then I'll write a little article on there and we have a discussion. It's been working pretty well lately. So, but in that, a lot of people are, we're having a little bit of a discussion, and people don't really give credit to the staff. Like Coach Prime, him as a coach, a really good coach, and the staff that he has around him. You have to understand that it starts with leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. That's where it starts. So we have to start there, because the kids, the way that they move in a way where it's like everybody believes something that we don't see. They have this uncanny ability to look past how big the moment is and really relish inside of the moment and then show up to play. And it's reverberating throughout the team and even the kids that were here. So the conversations that we were having about the last video, or one of the videos that I posted, was about the kids that the transfer kids. And I think somebody said, so why didn't they ball when they were here, when they were at Colorado? And I think I replied to one of those people in a simple answer, and I said leadership. And it's important. Leadership is important because while they're balling out now, you have to think about it. Like coaching, leadership, culture, a lot of those things are important for a locker room. If you have a culture where kids feel like, there's not enough like belief in the locker room, it's going to reverberate throughout the entire organization. If you guys remember when Coach Prime came, when he got to Colorado, the first thing he said was that we got to get that spirit up out of here. There was a spirit of losing. There was a spirit that was kind of hovering over the entire organization, not just in the locker room, but it have permeated the entire organization. So Coach Prime's his first job was the number one, just start working whatever he had to do, his magic, I would say, for the lack of a better term. He had to start working his magic, all his leadership abilities to get that spirit, grab it, and just get it up out of here. That was the first thing, because including the locker room, the fan base, the people that are administrative and other factors around the team, that spirit was important to get up out of here. So leadership is very important. They didn't have that, and that's one of the reasons why I think that factor is going to play a big part in winning on Saturday, beating Oregon. So we start with the leadership as being probably one of the biggest factors, because of what they're doing with the kids' mindset. Because for some reason, like when you see the players in the Colorado State games, in the Colorado State game, those players, it almost felt like they didn't know what we knew. They did not know that they were down 11 points in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes to go. In college football, it's hard to stop the clock. Every play, the clock keeps running. That's annoying because you're like, stop the clock. It's first down. What are you doing? So I see that, and I'm like, okay. So they don't see, like, adversity is something they know how to handle. And I'm attributing all of that to the leadership, because they see it and they're like, okay, you know what? They're buying into the system. I don't know if they are at 100% as far as everybody buying into the whole idea of I believe and I'm going to stand strong and I'm not going to fear anyone. So that's why I say the leadership is important. And then I come to number 2. Factor number 2 is going to be Shedeur Sanders. And can someone please tell me why we haven't seen Javon Antonio, the 6'4" wide receiver? I think he can be a problem. Yeah, let me put that up because if anybody knows, if anybody has the answer to this question, please go ahead and answer it. Coach Prime, a good Division I college football coach. He just started coaching 2 seasons ago on the level. Okay, so you're back, hombre negro. Please, if you keep it, you gotta keep it respectful because I wasn't paying attention to you before, and I think you were being an agitator. So I don't know, man. I don't want to block you. Just if you keep it respectful, you and I can have a good time. You say whatever you want to say, but keep it respectful. Just don't be an agitator, bro. Like seriously. But you sound a little uneducated because I don't know what you're talking about. So, all right, let me answer. Let me put that down. Hold on, Dominic. I'm sorry, Dominic Wesley. Let's answer this guy because I think he likes attention. All right, so El Hombre Negro. Let me talk to you. First of all, if you come on a platform like mine, and I'm such a student of the game, I want you to please be educated before you speak. Coach Prime coached at Jackson State for 3 years. FCS football, that's football championship subdivision, and FBS football bowl subdivision. Both of those divisions are D1. There's a lot of people like you who are not educated in the space, but they just like to just talk, and they think like they're making sense, but because we live in such a society where fact checking and information doesn't matter to them, they just say things, they throw stuff out there, then they run and thinking nobody, and then they what they try to do is get people on their side to either laugh with them or to create some type of weird narrative, and then they just leave it, and their agitation, it just goes unchecked. But Coach Prime coached at FCS, which is football championship subdivision. That's Division I. So get that right first. Coach Prime, a good Division I college football coach. He just started coaching 2 seasons ago on the level. No, brethren, no, because Jackson State was Division I. FCS and FBS were the same, but they just separated. So please get that education first. It's irritating because I have to deal with people like you in the comments all the time, and it's just like, yo, speak on facts, and then we can move forward. Okay, like please just stop it. He hasn't just coached two seasons ago. Okay, three years at Jackson State. Like, do you not understand that? 3 years, bruh. He's a good coach. Like, what are you talking about? How many times do you have to win? If other coaches were doing this because his name is Coach Prime, y'all would say, yes, he's a winning coach. But now I have to deal with this nonsense. Bro, just keep it respectful, and you and I, I'm going to put you down. But just keep it respectful, and then you and I would be cool. And if he gets out of hand while I'm not paying attention, you guys will let me know. I'll block him because I can't. Not today, man. Not today. Whatever, man. I'm not dealing with you. Not today, man. All right, we're going to put this down. But stop the craziness, bruh. All right, so you guys, hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Email me if you want to come on and shoot your shot. If you have information, I'm watching the email. If you have information that you want to share, you want to come on, you want us to have a dialogue, let me know. But X factor number 2, as far as the mentality and who's the X factor, strength. We're talking strengths and weaknesses. Excuse me. So let me play this right here, and then let me play this for you guys. All right, let's present screen, share screen. All right, so here we go.
Nah, nothing really. I'll say the only difference between FCS and this level is the D line get off blocks if you try to scramble up faster. That's it. Everything else, you got good players, you got good DBs, good receivers, everything like that. You just have more of those on the field at once. You got to think. Everybody on the field ain't going first round. A lot of people on the field may not get drafted. So don't let people fear names. I don't fear names because I really don't care. But that's the biggest thing. When you fear names and you let, that's half the battle. You already losing. Dang, we playing TCU. I respect the university. I respect everything about them. But personally, I just never cared about names.
So the reason why I wanted to play that for you guys, just give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing the screen. All right, so the reason why I play that for you guys is because that's an X factor. You have to understand, like, for a lot of us, when we are privy to, like, this, let's just say historical information, like how long a team has been winning, who they have, LeBron James, or let's just say, let's take the World Cup, the basketball World Cup, for example. Oh, this is the United States of America. This is the NBA. These are the NBA players. So, oh my gosh, we about to play the NBA players? Lord, please forgive us. Oh no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there were teams on the world stage that are not afraid of the NBA players. I mean, maybe like a couple of years back, oh, America, NBA players, wow, we can't handle them. But now you see on the world stage, like, now they're playing their game. Now they know what to expect. So when Shedeur says that he doesn't fear names, there was a video that I wanted to make, but I just couldn't make it because I wasn't feeling well. But that's a whole nother thing for us to think about. I don't fear names because if you fear names, it gets into your psyche. If you listen to all of the pundits, if you listen to all of the pundits, you listen to all of the analyzers, all of the sports analysts and the journalists and everybody that talks for the sport. If you listen to them, we should have lost that TCU game because they're saying the same thing again. It's like, oh my gosh, look at what TCU accomplished last year. So if you're one of those 1-11 guys and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, they did beat us, and you don't really buy into the Coach Prime mentality and his mindset and the leadership telling you don't be afraid, then you lose that game. So when Shedeur says, I don't fear names, Shedeur doesn't see giants. He does not see giants at all. Shedeur sees what he sees is another player in front of him. And I thought that was an X factor that's going into this game and going into most games. And probably why we're going to win this conference, because he has such a high level of confidence that it shows up in every game. And that's part of the thing that I think people maybe need to think about, that yes, we're gonna go over some of the strengths of Oregon in a second, but a lot of people need to really start thinking about the fact that we have players on this team that believe on another level. They're not just any team. They're not just anybody. They're not just being coached by anybody. The leadership in that locker room is totally different. The leadership is not the type of leadership that has not won anything. The leadership, because the leadership at the head of the leadership, a lot of them, I believe there are 5 different head coaches that are playing assistant roles, and they've won on higher levels. So starting with Coach Prime, he's already won at the highest level. So he knows how to instill that confidence in the kids. So I think that's why I think Shedeur is able to exude such confidence. And I don't know that people are going to be able to associate that to what's going to happen on Saturday. Yes, he's a great player, and they're talking about his arm strength. But what you have to understand is that they don't give up. Just look at the TCU game when they got down. They was like, boom, they went on the field and they handled business. The same thing that happened with Nebraska. So over and over again, They keep displaying the same confidence, but we as fans, we lose heart at times during the games. Like we lose faith, we lose heart because we're getting anxious because we in our head we're looking at how strong Oregon is, their quarterback, their wide receivers, and that's what I want to talk about now. So I was watching Prime Sports Media, and he was like, he was talking about like number 11, one of their wide receivers actually being one of their like their strengths. So his name is Troy Franklin. So that's one of their strengths. So I wanted to play you some of his highlights so we can kind of see how, you know what I'm saying, what we should look forward to. So let's look at Troy Franklin's highlights. Let me read some of these comments. All right. Colorado definitely doesn't give up because they believe in their capabilities. Yep. Troy Franklin was the second wide receiver in the country for his class. Okay, so let's look at some of his highlights. Let's see how Troy Franklin looks. For those of you who are not aware of Troy Franklin, let's look at some of his highlights. Hopefully, this YouTube, this is in fair use. I am showing this in fair use, YouTube. So allow me to show this in fair use mode. Here we go. Troy Franklin. I'm going to have to mute the audio on this one, guys. So I'm just going to show the highlights. So number 11 is who you're watching. Is Troy Franklin. This is a guy that we're going to have to contest with on Saturday. Now, he can remind you of a Jimmy Horn, an Xavier Weaver. We have the same strengths that he has. I would say we have a couple of these guys, these little Speedy Gonzalez wide receivers who can fly all over the place and catch the ball and then move with the ball. So if our secondary, the whole idea that is being talked about is the fact that their secondary is not as strong. So Shedeur should have, if Shedeur can get the ball moving down the field early in the game, that their secondary may not be able to stop us like 100%. They will show up to play, obviously, but this guy, you know, our defense, our secondary has to be able to catch this, be able to stop this guy because he's a problem. So, so being the number 2 wide receiver in the country, yeah, he's a problem. So hopefully Coach Prime and they're watching tape and they're going to be ready for this guy because he's going to be a problem. Without Travis Hunter, and so without Travis Hunter, now we got to find that second DB. And so we're going to be playing committee, DBs. We're going to be going through a couple of DBs and trying to see who kind of lasts out, who steps up. We just need somebody to step up. We know Travis Hunter is gone, but our whole team is not made up of just Travis Hunter. This team is a team that is built to have depth when it comes to our skill positions. So Travis Hunter goes. We have other players that are going to step up. So hopefully somebody steps up and is able to pretty much give us what we need to stop number 11. All right, so that's one of their strengths. And then obviously the guy that was throwing him the ball, Bo Nix, okay? What they call him, Bo Dishes? Okay, so Bo Nix is one of their strengths. Bo Nix is going to find his men, okay? That's been the thing about the quarterbacks that we've played so far. The quarterback that we played so far have not been the best quarterback. So right now, Bo Nix has only been sacked 6 times in 2 years. For reference, Colorado allows 6 sacks a game. Okay. Let's put that up. Good point right there. That is a good point. Shattered. Appreciate the comment. So that speaks, if Bo Nix has only been sacked 6 times in 2 years, that speaks to their O-line, the guys that are blocking him, the guys that are blocking for him. Now, if anybody can tell me, are they returning the entire O-line? Are they returning everyone on that offensive line? Because our DBs are going to have to get to them. You know, our guys are going to have to get to that ball. Our offensive line has to get to that ball, has to get to the to Bo Nix. So if that speaks to how good their offensive line is, then that is a key point where Coach Prime is going to have to exploit. He's going to have to see that. Arthur McCaskill is about to go crazy. Let's just hope so, because they've been having an issue running the ball thus far. And so yeah, just keeping on this line of their strengths. Okay, we're talking about Oregon's strengths. All right, so their wide receiver core apparently is good, and then according to their this quote right here, or this comment, their O-line is good, so they're going to be protecting that. They're going to be protecting the quarterback. If they give too much time for Bo Nix to find his guys downfield, it might be a long, very long day for Colorado's secondary, because we know that teams have exploited our secondary when the quarterback has had time to find his receivers. So it's going to be a test all around for both teams, because now you have two very, very efficient, and I'm going to repeat that. We have two very efficient quarterbacks that are going to be testing each other on Saturday. So Shedeur is in the Heisman conversation. Bo Nix is in the Heisman conversation. So they both have to play their best games, because now this is their audition for the Heisman. This is probably going to be the most viewed game for Oregon. Colorado has already amassed 9 million per game, about 8 million viewers per game. So this is going to be a very big stage for both teams. For Colorado, for Oregon, Colorado has already been bashing in that kind of environment already. So there's a couple of things that are going on here for college football. College football is trying to figure out, because there's a 13-member board that has to decide who is going to go to, who they're going to vote for the Natty, who they're going to invite to the national championship game. So a lot of teams, the votings are based on how strong your schedule is and how you do in these games. So each team has an opportunity to put on display their best effort to see who's going to get that invitation, because you can go undefeated and still not get an invitation. So when that 13-member board starts to vote, if Colorado comes out and play a really good game, if Colorado dominates this game, that drops Bo Nix's his whatever voting they were going to do, his opportunity to be voted higher in that quarterback Heisman talk. It drops his tremendously. I don't think that it does the same thing for Shedeur, because Shedeur they're supposed to lose this game. So if they lose, I don't know that Shedeur's numbers are not going to be effective, because I believe Shedeur will find his wide receivers. Shedeur will find the plays. All right. So we got to stop number 0. That's the playmaker. Who's number 0? Your screen was blanking. I could not see what you were trying to share with us. Oh, my bad. I don't know which part were you talking about, because I think I shared something with Shedeur about Shedeur talking. All right, so let's put that down. All right, so make a good comment, guys. I'm putting it up, okay? They are returning 2 players. The other 4 were drafted. Okay, Shatter, good information. Shatter, you on it right now. Shatter is on it right now. They are returning 2 players. The other 4 were drafted to the NFL, but we got the best transfer from the second on our line. From the transfer portal, it is still number 1 in the country. Are you talking about our offensive line? Because their offensive line, if they've 6 sacks in 2 years, and how is it looking this year? So I don't know. I mean, that's awesome. And I also have to say that those sacks that we got, I know we got a lot in the Colorado State game, but the sacks, I believe that a lot of those sacks were self-inflicted. because Shador was holding the ball way too long. I'm like, Shador has this thing that he's been irking me about. He's been doing this thing where his reads, he sees his reads, right? And the runs, it seems like all of our runs have been kind of like a fake run. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but it seems as if our runs are always options. Do you all agree or not? Because have our runs always been option runs? Because Shador has this thing where he has the ball, he wants to give it to Dylan Edwards, he wants to give it to the running back, but then it's like he's trying to pull it back at the same time, and then by the time the line has already converged on them, and then they get no yards. So I feel like the run is not really going well, and he's getting sacks, unnecessary sacks, because he's holding the ball way, way too long. He doesn't want to throw a pick, and he also is thinking that he doesn't want to just keep throwing the ball away, because apparently that messes up your records as well. So if you keep grounding the ball, or if you keep throwing the ball away, I don't know if that's playing in his mind, but Shador has to let that ball go. I think that if Shador can let the ball go, though our offensive line is not the best offensive line in college football, they are doing a heck of a job, because Shador has had time in the TCU game to toss that ball. He scored 500 some plus yards, 510 yards in the TCU game. So the offensive line have had to be doing their job in order for that to happen. So I can't put everything on our offensive line. I think we're doing a pretty good job on that offensive line to be able to put up the numbers that we've been putting up as far as passing yards. Colorado has Colorado. Let me put this comment down. Let's take that comment off. Chris at Alpine Garage Sports. Chris, what up, man? Hot tips, Chris. If you have anything to add, because you are a lifelong buff, if you have anything to add for Oregon, if you want to add some wisdom, if you are in somewhere where you can come on, hot tips for TRP sports at gmail.com. Just email me and tell me where to send you the link at, so that you can come on and talk to the folks. But yeah, Chris from Alpine Garage Sports, salute, man. That's a man with wisdom. He's been following the bus for forever, and he has a lot of wisdom. I wish he can share some of that with us today on what we should look for or not look for when it comes to beating Oregon. So yeah, so a lot of the strengths that we have are, so if Shador can let the ball go early, it's just my observations. I don't know what's going on with the run game. If they can just call a run game without the option, just give the ball to the running back and let's just see what he's going to do. I feel like I haven't seen a true run design. Have you guys seen a true run design? And I have to let you guys know that a lot of the comments are going to be on the StreamYard thing. It's not necessary. You got to allow your comments to be put on the StreamYard, because a lot of the comments, because I'm using StreamYard, so it's not going to be on YouTube. The playback is going to be on StreamYard. So unfortunately, it's not the comments. We have a lot of people commenting, but it's not going to be on the stream on YouTube on the playback. So if you're watching the playback, you're really missing out live, because we have a lot of communication going on, and unfortunately, I don't know how to put the comments on the YouTube video. All right, so Damon said, I respectfully disagree. The running game for Colorado is poor and that can be contributed to the offensive line. Okay, so it's not entirely. Oh, you're disagreeing that it's on Shador. No, it's not necessarily on Shador, but the offensive line, when it comes to them actually making space or making a hole for the runner to happen, have we really seen a design that was a run? Do we know? I mean, I feel like I have not seen, because the reason why I'm saying this, because y'all remember preseason that Sean Lewis. Everybody made a video about what Sean Lewis's scheme was going to be. It was going to be run heavy. Y'all remember that, right? We're supposed to see a run heavy offense, because when you establish the run, we got such a great passing receiving core And we got such a great arm in Shador that if we can run the ball, we'll beat every team in the Pac-12. Y'all think I'm playing? If we can establish the run, we're beating every team in the Pac-12. Hands down, ain't nobody seeing us if we can run. Because if you run the ball, I would tell you guys, if you start to run the ball, do you know what the effect of running the ball does? The DBs start to cheat in. People start trying to come in. You got the daggone safety trying to come in and try to stop the run. Because he's like, oh no, Dylan's about to go off. Oh no, Smoke is about to go off. Arthur McCaskill's about to get the ball. If you start running the ball effectively, Lord Jesus, like, oh my Lord, like, please, Lord, if we can find a way to run the ball, I guess, according to Damon, if the offensive line can do a better job of breaking open some of those holes so we can run through them, I don't know that I can put it all on the offensive line. They've been doing a pretty good job to protect Shador when it comes to him being able to have time to throw that ball. So I don't know that I can put, you know what? Why don't we just say everyone needs to do their job? Because we can't blame not just one aspect of the team, because it's like everybody needs to do their job. I see points or pockets where when you're like, man, Shador, let the ball go. Shador, throw the ball. Don't get sacked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what the play is, because I see the ball trying to, like, he's trying to go give him the ball. I don't know what the play is at times, but I feel like we have not established the run the way that we need to establish a run. If we can establish a run, we would be the most dangerous team in college football. And the reason is because we have one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And this is actually supposed to be the true test, the truest test for Oregon. Oregon is ranked number 10 in the nation. Then you're not just ranked number 10 in the nation on a fluke. You're not, because you have a really good team. So let's please keep that energy. They are ranked number 10. And this is a solid number 10. Because what I'm afraid is going to happen is if Colorado shows up, let me just change my words. When Colorado shows up to play and we play our best game against Oregon, the narrative is going to change to the Pac-10, the Pac-12 is not a good conference. And it's going to be a shame that we're going to have that conversation, but just know that it's coming. All right, so let's take this comment off. Anybody else got something to say? Something, give me something. Lewis offense is package offense. Alpine Garage Sports. Each down has up to 3 or 4 options, and Shador calls it at the line. All right, so this is what Chris is saying. Okay, so everything is kind of like, we know that Shador has the ability to control the game with his mind. He's such an effective quarterback, an efficient quarterback, that they're trusting him to be able to make the right calls on that line. So he has options. It's Shador, what do you see out there? You see this guy cheating in? You see that guy, he's doing a little bit of backstep. You see him reading you? Shador has the ability to be able to read that and say, oh, okay, so that guy's doing this, he's doing that. He's been doing that since high school. That's why he's such a great quarterback. And it's a great thing that, Coach Prime says, it's not just my son. He's been saying this forever. It's not that he's just my son. It's the fact that he knows how to control the game with his mind, because he's done this forever. And he didn't go to Oregon when he was being when he didn't go to the different schools, not Oregon, but he didn't go to the different schools that were recruiting him because he wanted to start. So it's the fact we have one of the best quarterbacks in college football. So they're being tested right now, because the first three quarterbacks that Bo Nix had to compete against were not as great. So they didn't pull up as many points as they could have put up, because they didn't have that efficiency in their quarterbacks. So now you get a Shador who has the efficiency. Now he's scoring on you. How do they deal with adversity? Now, their last game, they did a pretty good job with what was it, Texas Tech or whoever they played, right? Apparently they had a little bit of issue going on. So let's say we give them a Shador and we give them a problem at any time, because one of their weaknesses is that their secondary is not as good. So imagine we start exploiting their secondary. Arthur McCaskill is supposed to be coming up this week. So let's say as a freshman, he put up 1,000 plus yards as a freshman before he got injured. Now he comes in and he gets that freshman magic back and he starts running the ball. It's gonna be it's gonna be lights out for Oregon. So now this is gonna increase our chance in getting voted in if we run the schedule. And I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. Whatever you want to call it, I'm feeling good about our chances on just if you look at the takeaways, because their secondary is good, but it's not great. And they've been exposed. Their defense is good, but it's not great. They've been exposed by weaker teams. So we have an opportunity now to play a better team in Colorado. So Oregon this is gonna be their truest test. Okay, this is gonna be their true test, and I wanted to bring you on some. Let me see. Let me check the email. Make sure nobody's trying to get on here. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Hit me up if you want to come on here and speak your truth. Oregon defense isn't that good. Yes, that's true. That's what I talked about. Now I want to, because based on that comment, I want to bring these guys on as another fair use. Hopefully YouTube will allow me to just play this and in fair use. I want to go ahead and play a little bit of the conversation that from the Ducks Wire or from the guys that are Duck Podcast. I want to play this information so you guys can get a little bit more insight, especially for those people who don't really know the intricate details about, how good their defense is, their offense is. Let's play a little bit of this conversation so that we can see. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to play some of this conversation right here. I just want to share as much information as I can to give us, as much as we can and what to expect. Because I know a lot of us, a lot of us are if you read some of the comments that's on social media, a lot of us are weary. But hopefully, like, with more information, like your weariness will go away. Hopefully. I'm still under the weather, guys, so please excuse my. Okay, so here we go. YouTube, this is in fair use. Please allow me to use this in fair use. Oregon versus Colorado. Shedeur Sanders provides an important blah, blah, blah. All right, so Locked on Ducks podcast. I'm giving them credit. Locked on Ducks podcast. So here we go.
He's talking about this Oregon defense. And I think though imperfect against Texas Tech, they looked better, have to clean up the penalties. But this is the best quarterback they've faced in 2023. And he's one of the better ones they will face all season. But there are other good ones they'll see in the pack this year as well.
Yeah, that shot against Tyler Shuck was kind of that glimpse, I should say, was our first test of how Oregon's defense is going to go up against some of those more highly regarded quarterbacks. And Shedeur Sanders is certainly that. Dan Lanning was quick to give some praise to Shedeur Sanders on Monday during his press conference, saying that he is really good at extending the play and using his legs. But what was interesting to me, Spencer, was how he said he runs to pass as opposed to just running to run. Mm-hmm. Paraphrasing a little bit, but you get the idea. So Shedeur Sanders is definitely going to be a very unique challenge for the Ducks. And I think we might have talked about this earlier. I think it's lining up well for Oregon that they had the schedule that they did, because they went against, I don't know if you would call Tyler Shuck a dual threat quarterback, but certainly a capable runner. So they've been tested in that dimension of their defense. And then they went against kind of a pure air raid type of guy last week against Braden Shager and Hawaii. So I think this will be a unique test for Oregon. He's certainly super athletic, and he's got some great weapons to throw to, even though Travis Hunter is not going to be able to go.
Yeah, there are still capable wide receivers. Travis Hunter with the lacerated kidney not expected to play. He's going to be out for a few weeks, but it's not as if Shedeur Sanders has thrown for, 900 yards, or I don't even know. No, that was through the first couple of weeks. It was 900 yards. He's like second in the country in passing. And yeah, he's missing his top target. You don't throw for that many yards in the way in which he has if you only have one guy who you're relying on. Like, this is, not Justin Herbert, Dylan Mitchell circa 2018, where it's like, on 3rd and 11, there's only one guy you're going to. Like Shedeur Sanders has spread the ball around, and that's one of the reasons I think this is such a great test, not just for the players on the Ducks defense, but for the coaching staff, because it is really a quick passing game. There are a lot of short, quick throws like we saw against Portland State. Obviously, this is a much higher caliber opponent. The Buffs come in sure as 3 touchdown underdogs. They were against TCU as well. But I think that they are so good offensively. Their offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, I think is really, really good. And he's done an excellent job of scheming an offense that gets the ball out of Shedeur Sanders' hands quickly and then takes their shots in specific moments. I think it kind of operates like an air raid in that sense. And it's a really, really tough thing to defend, because if a lot of the pass attempts are snap it back to him, he makes one read. If it's not there, he goes to a second, and he's throwing a curl, slant, drag, tunnel screen, or quick go route, whatever. That's a really, really hard thing to defend because you don't give the defensive lineman time to get home.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that this Oregon defense is going to see from Colorado when Saturday rolls around. And then they also have a really talented running back.
So that's a lot of the things that we've talked about. That's an Oregon constituency. That's their. They know what's coming. They know that the offense is there. They know that our offense is a pretty good offense. So this is probably going to be the biggest test for their Oregon defense. So okay, so I would say we got the offense, but the defense had to show up. Now I think the narrative of what I've been talking about in 3 games is that we haven't played our best game yet. We haven't played our best football yet. So I don't know that Colorado still has to play its best football with Oregon. I don't think so, because when we listen to the Oregon people talk, we listen to the other people talk. Colorado is not the only team that has to show up on Saturday. Oregon has to show up too, because we don't know how because we have a little bit of a glimpse on their the Texas game. We have a little bit of a glimpse on how they respond when it comes to adversity. We know how Colorado responds when we're down, 8 points with like 2 minutes to go. We know how Colorado is going to respond, but how does Oregon respond? They're 3-0 games. They haven't really faced a quarterback like Shedeur. So when Shedeur starts to light it up, how are they going to respond? We also yet to see that. Another takeaway is that Colorado played Colorado State at night. It was like 10 p.m. Eastern time, and we didn't go to sleep until like 2 a.m. Like the game ended around 2 a.m. That was another thing. These guys were sluggish. They were tired. They've been waiting all day. They've been trying to figure out, man, when is this game starting? Like Shedeur's doing this all day, trying to figure out what is going on. So it's like that was another aspect of the game that played a part, because when you have to sit around so long, it gets you get tired. And then you have to go out there and give all of the energy that you've already lost. So I think for us, our best games are they come morning games and afternoon games. I think those are going to be our best games, and it also speaks another volume on the strengths that we have on our team, because our team believes so much and they're so strong. I think that if we're not tired, I know some people don't believe that narrative that, okay, no, the nighttime, them being tired didn't play a part. But I believe when we get on that field and we have our energy going and we're pumped up and ready to go, I don't know that Oregon's going to be ready for that. And then Oregon, a lot of people listen to the media. When people, I'm sure TCU students and their people were listening to the media. And then next thing you know, the Buffs came in and they played their game. That's one thing that Coach Prime and his guys talk about a lot. They always say, this is just football. They're confident. I trust in that confidence that they have. That's why I believe I can sit back and I enjoy the game, because I believe that their confidence and their ability to play the game is going to come through on Saturdays. So they're going to prepare. Nobody prepares more than the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime. Coach Prime knows how to prepare his guys. Now, how they show up, like a Jimmy Horn. I don't know if it was fourth quarter where Coach Prime started, gave him that talk, and he was like, "Listen, man, pull all of that away. Your dad's incarcerated. You got a lot on your shoulders, bruh. Relax. Show your pops what this game means to you. Let your pops be proud of you. Gives him a hug. If he shows up, if Xavier Weaver shows up, if LaVaris Dawson shows up, some of the other guys like Antonio, like where are the guys that were in practice running it up? We haven't seen all of the Louis. I'm still wondering what's going on with the other players. If Arton comes on this field and he's like, bruh, he said, Coach, I'm ready. If Arton McCaskill shows up, that's one thing that it was a TCU could not prepare for what was coming because they didn't know what to prepare for. All they saw was practice tapes. And then they came and got a surprise of their lives. Now, let's just say Coach Prime comes in and he gives the second part of the luggage. He delivers the second part of the luggage and says, "Here, we're coming from the airport. Here, it was a late luggage, but here's the Louis." Oregon's not preparing for Arthur McCaskill. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may think about it, but how do you prepare for Arthur McCaskill? He's not the same Arthur. He was a freshman. That was his first year. Now he's much grown. He's more grown. His conditioning is different human being. How do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for the other guys that have not even played? It's a little hard to prepare for. So that's going to be another factor that it's going to be something where it's going to be a surprise factor that Oregon cannot prepare for, and because they don't know. A lot of us don't even know. If I think Prime cooking something up, if Colorado can't score 14 in the first quarter, Oregon will blow them out. I don't know that Oregon will blow them out. There is no ceiling. Like, if we're going to say, like, oh, okay, if they can, one of the strengths of Oregon is that they have a strong ability or an innate ability to get ahead quickly in the game. If they're able to get ahead quickly in the game, then they have a good chance of winning the game. But that's another thing that Coach Prime and his staff are preparing for. So we're gonna have to put some people. We're gonna have to stop them in the first and second half, because the second half we know that we're stronger third and fourth quarter because we have the better quarterback, the mentally prepared quarterback. That guy is a clutch player. Shedeur is a more clutch player than Bo Nix is. So we want the ball in Shedor's hand come down the stretch. I don't think they're scoring. I don't believe, and I think that they're going to score. Like, if we don't score 14 points, we're going to be out of there. I don't think so, because there's no quit in this team. We've already proven it. There's no reason for me to think that, oh, they're going to blow us out if we don't score 14. Now, if they go up 14, 21, and we got 0, yes, a lot of us are going to get nervous, because this is not a team that's going to back down. They're not a team that's going to be like, relax and be like, oh, we got it in the bag. This team is not that kind of team. They don't make that many mistakes, and if we make mistakes, they're going to score on us. So it's going to all boil down to who makes the most mistakes on that field on Saturday. And maybe game number 4 is the game that everything shows up at once. Then it's going to be a long day for Oregon, because if we play our best football, there are not too many teams that are in the Pac-12 that we have on our schedule that can really blow us out with 3 touchdowns. Are they serious? Like, how many times we have to let them know, like, bruh, you got us down by 3 touchdowns. No, we don't have everything perfect, and you can't really point to one specific thing on that whole team to say, oh, yeah, this is the guy that's going to kill you. But we're ballers. You've seen that we can ball. We're playing football, the same football that everybody else is playing. But when it comes down to it, I don't understand why people just can't see that we're playing good football on both sides of the ball, because we're undefeated. Remember, Coach Brown went undefeated and nobody thought that was real? It's happening again. We're undefeated. So put some respect on that name. Put some respect on the fact that we're undefeated. We're 3-0. We are 3-0. People don't want to believe that. Count it. Oh, you ain't played nobody. Okay, keep that same energy when we beat Oregon. Okay? Keep that same energy, because don't say the Pac-12 is weak. Let's not go to their deficiencies once Colorado wins. Let's talk about their deficiencies now. Let's put it on the board. What I got on my shoulder? Let's put it on the board now. Let's talk about that now, because I don't want the narrative to change and say, oh, Bo Nix, if we win the game, then it's like, oh, Bo Nix, his girl broke up with him. His girl broke up with him right before the game. So, how can you really play when you're brokenhearted? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, we can't really, like, his dog got sick and his mom called him and he said, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Frito is sick. Frito-Lay, he's laying down, like, bruh, what is the narrative going to be if we win? What is the narrative going to be? Change it, Harry B. What is the narrative going to be when we win? What is it going to be? I want to know what it is. How many times do you, Bo Nix, is going to try Shiloh Sanders? I predict there's going to be a lot of picks. Like, Shiloh's going to have a couple of picks in this game, and there's going to be a lot of picks on Trevor's going to have some picks. Shiloh's going to have some picks, and we're going to see, I think we're going to see magic on that field, because now we have players that have to step up that wants playing time. Travis is out 3 to 4 weeks. So now there are players, hopefully Cormani gets in the game. We've been talking about Cormani and whatever issues that he's going on. We've been talking about that. A lot of y'all, some people are saying, oh, leave him alone. Why you keep talking about this? It's football, and he's on the team. I mean, he's a prospect. He's one of the highest prospects on the team. So you got to talk about him. Whatever he's going through, whatever's going on, he's a young man. There's a lot of young men on that team. We talk about all of them. So I get a lot of flack for doing stuff, but whatever. I'm just saying, listen, Cormani, if he gets the opportunity to play, whatever he's thinking mentally, whatever is going on with him, show up and just be ready to play. You can play. You can play the game of football. We know, because you've already done it in high school. They don't rate you 5-star because you don't know how to play football or because somebody called in a favor. They rate you 5-star based on your ability to play football. So if Cormani shows up, maybe he shows up and he lights it up, and now we're talking about Cormani McLean, the 5-star prospect that we all know has the ability. I know this kid can ball. We've seen his highlight tapes. He can ball. So can he just show up and play? We don't know what Coach Prime has in the bag. Arthur McCaskill, we don't know if he's going to start the game. Dylan Edwards obviously is our star running back right now. The run game hasn't really developed. All right, shout out. Bo Nix has a 78% pass completion rating, 0 interceptions, only 7 interceptions last year. No way he has multiple. Played better defense than Colorado. Okay, but you said the same thing about Shador. Isn't that the same thing? What are we talking about? Shador 78, 79%. All right. Where his interception. Tell me where Shador's interception came from the Colorado State game. He throws the ball up. The receiver goes for the ball, and it goes through his hands, and the ball happens to ricochet off the receiver's hands, and then the other guy catches it. Yes, it is an interception. However, did he throw the interception? He didn't throw. You throwing an interception is like, okay, you didn't know where to throw the ball. Your guy was open, and you just kind of threw the ball somewhere, and you give the other guy an opportunity. We got to look at the dynamics of the interception, because Shador coming into the game had no interceptions. So what are we talking about? You got to look at the play. How did the interception come? The interception came off of a ricochet. If the receiver brings the ball down, there's no interception. So he's what, 78, 79%, 79%. 247 Sports information. So Shador is going to test Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going to test Shador. We know that. Listen, he throws. You don't see it, but these guys, they got to show up and play, just like Colorado got to show up and play. This ain't going to be because they're just so much better than Colorado. That's not what's here. And I want everybody listening and watching to really understand this is not the type of game where you're going to be like, oh, this team is so much better and it looks like Georgia versus TCU. Not that. Let's get that straight out the way. This ain't going to be no Georgia versus TCU. Is Oregon a good team? Yes, Oregon is a good team. Are they going to blow us out? Are you crazy? Maybe you haven't been watching the 3-0 Colorado University of Colorado football being led by Shedeur Sanders. You got Jimmy Horn. You got Xavier Weaver. You had Travis Hunter, but you got other players on that team that can make plays just as well. If you haven't been watching this team closely, then maybe you don't understand and you think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think this is going to be a blowout, not by any stretch of the imagination, not at all. What happens when he's throwing into double coverage? We already seen how Shedeur does. Now, Shedeur was hurried several times in this game. Okay, the line broke up, and Shedeur for the first 2 games, he had to do things that he didn't do in the first 2 games, where he had the what did they call it, the picking up the litter or whatever. He can pick a wide receiver down the road, down the field somewhere, and just make his regular play. But this game in the Colorado State game, he had to throw in the double coverage, and we saw how he did it. You got 2 minutes to go. You're inside of your end zone. He's standing in his end zone, okay, on the 2-yard line. He's standing in the end zone, and he has to make several plays in double coverage in order for that to happen. So he's proven that. You don't want to believe it, you don't have to believe it, but because you thought that the Colorado State Rams were a lesser opponent, it doesn't mean that that's how they were thinking. Colorado State is a good football team that showed up to play, and they gave us the business. So they showed up to play, and that's how the game went. So we can't say, we can't always keep using Colorado State was the lesser opponent. So, so y'all didn't do anything. Okay. I mean, if that's how you looked at it, they had to show up and play, and they showed up and played. But we know that Shedeur was pressured, and in that Colorado State game, he had to show us what he could do if there is much pressure. So he now has the constituents believing, okay, so Shedeur he can play the pressure game. We know that he can throw when he's got options flying all over the place. We know he can do that in the open field. We know he can do that. But what happens when he's pressured, when he's sacked 16 times or when he's sacked several times? What happens? He knows he can work under that pressure. If he holds the ball too long, he's going to get sacked. That's where a lot of the sacks came from, because he was holding the ball too long. He didn't make this decision fast enough, and he didn't want to have negative impact on his record or whatever he was thinking. That didn't happen. So we know that that's where a lot of his sacks came from. But Shedeur is very capable making the read. If somebody's open, he's going to get the ball there, whether it's double coverage or whatever, or single coverage. Washington State beat the brakes off Colorado State at Colorado State. All right, okay. Oregon will apply significantly more pressure than CSU. We don't know that. We don't really know that because the Giant is always predicted. The Giant is always, who said that? Adam? We're going to put you up, Adam. Oregon will apply significantly more pressure than CSU. We don't really know that because the Giant is always going to be predicted to do what Giants do. But when the Giant face a David, which I don't think with David and Goliath, they're not at all. I'm not even going to apply that to this. But you don't know the strengths that they possess is going to translate to CU. CU can exploit this team. That's what I'm looking at. CU can really exploit this team because at the end of the day, the way that you treat other teams is always different. Every other team is different. And the prime example right in front of y'all. Where's my chapstick? The example is right in front of y'all. What was your prediction for Texas Tech? What did they say? What was the predictions? Let me see. Hold on. Oregon, Oregon football schedule. Texas Tech. Texas Tech, 30 to 38. 30 to 38. If we're predicting Oregon versus Texas Tech, what do we say? Like, let's be real. What do we say when we're talking about Oregon and Texas Tech? What is the conversation? Because the game has to be played. Forget about whatever you think is going on. Forget about what you think you know previous, because we said the same thing about TCU. We said the same thing about Nebraska, and then we were supposed to beat CSU, but then they ended up giving us a problem. We beat them, but that was a problem. So that's the conversation with every other team. And then Georgia. The same thing goes with Georgia. Who did Georgia play last? This was not part of my presentation, so I wasn't ready for it. So let me just go. Give me a second. Georgia football schedule 2023. We just gotta talk serious. We gotta talk real, because sometimes I don't know what's going on in people's minds. I think y'all got that giant effect. Y'all got that giant syndrome. Like, oh, they're too big. You see what I'm saying? They're too big. South Carolina. Somebody tell me, is this South Carolina FCS? Right? South Carolina is FCS, right? FBS. Georgia is FBS. South Carolina is FCS. Football Championship Subdivision, correct? Somebody let me know. Is that right? South Carolina. Georgia, September 16th. They beat South Carolina 24-14. South Carolina is a good team. Come on now. So we're 3-0. We're a bad team? Colorado's a bad team? What are we talking about? South Carolina is FBS? You sure? Okay. But South Carolina is a bad team. The question that I have is, what was the conversation South Carolina going against Georgia? What was the conversation? Isn't this the same thing you're talking about right now? South Carolina is that's where Shiloh play, right? Am I right? I think Shiloh played at South Carolina, right? If I'm not mistaken. But the question is, what is the conversation? What is the conversation with South Carolina going into a game with Georgia? What do we say? Because the conversation is going to be, oh no, there's no way they're going to blow them out. The point I'm trying to make is, every team has a weakness. Every team has their strengths. The way that the weaknesses are exposed are based on the players that you put on the field. So not every team is going to respond to the weaknesses and the strengths the same way. Colorado's weaknesses and Colorado's strengths, they can be exploited differently than by CSU than they are going to be exploited by Oregon. So you cannot ever, this is how it works, okay? You cannot ever say, because this team was able to exploit them in this way, that you should be able to do the same thing. Because if that was the case, then we should have blew out CSU. But because they had this thing going on, because they had this whole, because Colorado State played such a great game, they exploited our weaknesses on a different level. There was a lot of different elements going on into that game, obviously, right? It was a night game. The kids were tired. I'm sure their energy was different. I saw some people just walking. They were gassed and looked like they were gassed. That's a whole nother energy. So I'm going to associate some of that and then some of that to this game. And then I'm going to say we got off to a really slow start on offense. We could not run the ball, and we could not find our wide receivers. So we couldn't throw the ball either. We couldn't get anything done first quarter. All right, Oregon finna body honestly. I don't know what that means. Finna body honestly. Okay, Oregon better run the ball like Joe Gibbs and the Hogs. So there's a lot of elements to each team. But I don't want us to be delusional, as I always say on this channel. I don't want to. We're not delusional around here. And what I want each person that's prognosticating or trying to figure out how we're going to win or lose. I want you to please step back for a second and think about the fact that both teams are good. You're just thinking about the fact that only one team is good. You're just thinking like, oh, Oregon is good. You're not. No, we're both 3-0 for a reason. For a really good reason. We've beaten 3 formidable opponents. So give us that credit, and then we can go into the discussion. Come on, what are we talking about? Okay, give us the credit that is due. Take Coach Prime and his bravado and everything that you think about him. Take that out of the conversation and look at the team that we have, which I've been preaching for 9 months now. So get that out of the way so we can look at the teams. The way that Colorado exposes Oregon's weak defense, it's going to be different from the way that Texas Tech exposed their weak defense. You see what I'm saying? So Colorado can throw the ball. Colorado can run the ball. If we establish that run game, it's going to be a problem for Oregon. Oregon has 0 chance. I don't know about that, but I don't know. All right, so yo, David, stop playing with me. Oregon has 0 chance. Oh man, y'all some funny cats. Texas Tech quarterback threw a pick 6 trying to do a spin move through. So yeah, whenever a quarterback gets in trouble, the quarterback has 2 options: take the L going down, throw the ball if you can. If you have the option to not have intentional grounding, throw the ball away if you can get it past that scrimmage line. Or just hold on to the ball if you can, as much as you can. Shedeur, we know that he's already proven that he's very conservative when it comes to that. Shedeur is very mature when it comes to that part of the game. He knows how to not just throw a pick just because he's just trying to make things happen. So that I can say we have a good quarterback, and we don't have to worry about that. I believe that Colorado is going to show up to play. And once again, and I'm trying to get ahead of this. Because I talk about perspectives and I talk about narratives on this channel. And I want to get ahead of this. Let's make sure that we give all of the credit to Oregon now. I want Oregon to have all of its credits. Remember, we don't have Travis Hunter, okay? And remember, they have Bo Nix, number 11. They have Troy Franklin. They have whoever number 0 is. Is that Bo Nix? I don't even know. But anyway, I want us to please keep this energy. We all agree that Oregon is a really good top 10 team and they deserve to be in the top 10. The reason why I'm saying that is when we win, I want to come on here, okay, and I want to say, what now? Now we can talk about how good of a football team that Colorado is, because we have not played our best football yet. So we haven't even gone into the conversation of their ceiling, because nobody wants to have that conversation, because the only conversation we're willing to have is when are they going to lose and have they really been tested yet? When people are really saying that, it really speaks to how good you really are. When somebody's saying you really haven't been tested yet, it really speaks to your ability to crush it. What have you really done? You ain't beat nobody. When they start saying that, this is a really good football team. You can put your bet on Coach Prime. You can put your bet on Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffs, because that's what they're saying. They're saying now that we don't stand a chance. They're giving us we're 21 points, 3 touchdowns underdogs. 3 touchdown dogs. Really? 3 touchdown dogs? Based on what? Based on what? They're 3-0, we're 3-0. Based on what? Their coach? Their coach? Really? Based on their quarterback? Their quarterback? We got a quarterback too. Based on their wide receivers? We know about Troy Franklin. Who else we know about? We know about Jimmy Horn. We know about Tavares. We know about Xavier Weaver, Antonio. We know about guess what? The running backs become wide receivers too. And they're so fast that if they catch the ball in the open field, they make one or two jukes and it's a wrap. And we're gonna expose their secondary. I'm telling you, realistically speaking, Colorado has to come out and set the tune. Colorado has to come out and exert their energy on Bo Nix and get him out the game. We have to find a way. Don't do it like Jay Norvell does and try to go hurt somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? Stay within the lines and play smart football. But we have to come out and we have to set the tone on that defense and let them get their offense off the field. Because I believe if we score, we get on the board first and we put the pressure on them, I don't know that they're going to be able to answer with the pressure that we put on them. I don't think they're ready for that. I don't think they're going to be expecting us to do that. But if we come out and we let them know how Colorado plays football, they're going to be surprised. There's going to be magic on that field. I think this is going to go one of two ways. One of us maybe three ways. It's either going to be a tied, like nail-biting game, or somebody's going to dominate. And I believe Colorado is going to dominate. That's how I feel. I feel like Arthur McCaskill is going to come in. We're going to establish the run, and we're going to end up dominating this game because nobody's going to be ready for what's coming. But they know what's coming because as soon as we establish the run game, they're not going to be sitting back trying to wait for the pass game. And then that's when Shador's going to unleash everything. That's what I've seen. I don't know, because if you guys remember, that's one of the teams that I have us losing by. But for some odd reason, my confidence has been growing over time because now I'm seeing how Colorado is responding in different moments. You have to see the team play. If you don't see the team play, you're only going to go off of initial reactions. But when you see them play and you see their tenacity, you see their ability to respond to adversity. You see their response time. How long does a team put up a score on them before they respond? How are they shook when things happen on a negative sense? Are they shook? If that's, you know what I'm saying? So if they're not shook, then if you keep Colorado around to the third and fourth quarter, it's going to be a long day for you. Your fans are going to be doing this at the end of the game because just like Jay Norvell or Jay Norvell at the end of the game where he was like scratching his head, he was like, oh, Lord. Your fans are going to be doing this at the I can't laugh too much because I'm not 100% yet. So I can't go 100 with y'all. I got to keep my energy because we got a live stream on Saturday. Okay. Y'all know the live stream is coming on Saturday. So get ready for that. So I got to keep it cool right now. Colorado ain't going to run the ball. Colorado ain't doing no running the ball on purpose. They are throwing it. You'll be surprised, man. Please, Colorado, defend those drag routes better. The under routes, like if they don't listen to the graphics that was put up by, I don't know if it was ESPN or On3, somebody put up a graphic where Colorado State was just going this way and going that way and nobody can stop it. And then Coach Prime was like, listen, Shiloh, y'all ain't stopped nothing all night. I'm putting the ball in Shador's hands. But listen, you see every game, there's a narrative. Every single game, there's a takeaway. There's something. I think instead of me just waiting for them to play their best game, waiting for me to say they haven't played their best game, maybe I should start saying this team is growing every game. They're growing every single game, and it's like they have an innate ability to see the adversity, see what they did wrong, go back to practice, fix that, come and then do better the next game. And then they're also going to go back, assess their opponent. Who is this opponent? What do they present? watch video, watch tapes, watch everything that they can watch to arm themselves with the information that they need to be able to know where each person is going to be. The defense is going to go do their job. They're going to figure out where number 11, how he runs, and how to stop him. Maybe they need to drop back a little bit more, give him a little bit of breathing room, and then because their what is it called, their closing game. That's not the term I wanted to use, but you know what I'm saying, they can make up the speed that they need to make up on the receivers. I know that they can. They've done it already. Or teams would have been blowing us out. There's a few times where we had a few players who they overplayed they overplayed their position and they went in a little bit too much and then they got beat. We had another opportunity. We had another situation where instead of making sure that you got the tackle, you played the smackdown and then you try to smack the ball and then they caught the ball and went and scored. If we fix those little nuances, I believe that this is going to be a great game for Colorado. Oregon is good for those screens and cross routes. Indian Carter. So, all right. So I've said enough. Anybody else want to come on? Anybody want to come on here and shoot your shot? Let me know what thoughts you have. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Shoot me your email. Let me know. I will send you the link. All right, Damon. So I'm about to send you that link. Give me a second. Let's bring Damon on the show. All right. Copy this. Email it. So just the rules, guys. Make sure that when you come on, guys, you keep it respectful. The language got to be on point. Don't say no foul language. None of that stuff. Keep it respectful. Keep it cordial. All right, because obviously I'm bringing you on live. Don't have no crazy things in your background, stuff like that. Because YouTube is definitely watching. So I'm going to send you the link in a second. So, okay. So any questions? Let's deal with some questions. But will Oregon use cross routes, though? I've been seeing them use cross. Let me put this up. Will Oregon use crossing routes, though? I've seen them use crossing routes twice against Texas Tech. And that's the only team that they ran it against. I think Oregon is going to be ready to play because the coordinators are going to do their jobs. Like, I don't know if a lot of people are really like highlighting the coordinators. The coordinator's job is to make sure that they're studying what works for each team, what works, what didn't work. So in the first quarter, what you're going to see is they're going to try a few things because obviously you really haven't played the team, so you don't know. So when a game starts in the first quarter, the first few minutes of the game is going to be like a test because after you get the first few minutes, you kind of start understanding the pace of the game. You start understanding, oh, okay, so this is their strength, this is their weakness. Forget about what we saw on tape. Forget about what we saw on paper. The scouting report, their strength and what Texas was able to do doesn't mean we're going to duplicate. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be able to duplicate that because Texas has a whole nother type of strength than we have. We have our own different strengths. So at the end of the day, it's not going to be like, oh, whatever everybody else did against this team, we're going to be able to do. So in the very first few minutes of the game, you're going to see each coordinator just kind of playing their game to see what works. And then you're going to start about the second quarter, you'll start seeing the real game. Like you'll start seeing what's happening. All right, so I'm going to send you this link right here. All right, so it's going to be hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com if you want to come on here and shoot your shot. All right, Damon, I just sent you the link. So when you get the link, you know what to do. You should just click the link. It'll allow you to come on. And then when I see you on here, I'll bring you on. Just make sure, guys, keep it cordial, keep it civil. We don't want no craziness going on here before YouTube flags me out. So, yeah, I think once we get we'll know, I think the first, let me get some score predictions. Put your score predictions in the comments. Obviously, this is not going to be on YouTube. For those of you who are watching on the restream, the score predictions are not going to show up on the YouTube, but I'll say some of the score predictions just so we can have it on the audio. So give me your score predictions. And you think, let me take this, let me hide this comment now. And you think Colorado fans know their names? Colorado fans just started watching 3 weeks ago. I mean, no, Colorado fans 3 weeks ago. I've been doing this 9 months now, so I don't know about 3 weeks ago. Shattered. Now, BWBs, we are 9 months in. I hope y'all know. We're 9 months in. We're bandwagon buffs. We're not, you can't shame us, that's for sure. But we're 9 months in. Like, I've been, you test a BWB and test a bandwagon buffs. We know more about Colorado football than a lot of y'all know about your own teams. I guarantee it. There's no way you are a fan of this channel or you are a club member of this channel and you don't know some of the information that a lot of people don't know about their own team. In the beginning of this video, I just told you how the Oregon Ducks got their name. Nathan Barry, I got to put that up. For sure. Swansley, yes. I'm going to tell you guys, Swansley has been around for a minute. Swansley's been watching these videos. Swansley, you know how we've been doing, right? We know how we got the bus. We even know how your team in the Pac-12 got their nickname or got their mascot. Come on now. Don't nobody know more about the Pac-12, about this college football thing than we do. We may have come around and we may be bandwagons, but we know more about Colorado now. We even know. I did a whole history on Colorado, on the whole team. Bruh, don't do it. Don't do it to yourselves. I promise you. We're one constituent that you don't want to mess with. We're not delusional. We don't come around here talking frivolous. We're not just one of those when somebody called me in one of the comments, you are an emotional super fan. They called me in one of the back and forth that said you are an emotional super fan. But they don't know that I've been doing this for 9 months. I've been educating and edutaining for 9 months. They have no idea that I've been doing this for long. But I'm so emotional because sometimes I cry and stuff. I'm emotional. I ain't gonna lie. You're right. I'm emotional, but I ain't super fan. I don't know. Maybe you're right on both of them. Whatever. HB, people are talking about how great every team the Buffs play are, but the scariest team in the Pac-12 is the Buffs. Have I been screaming that all night? It's like, you know why, right? You know that because it's Coach Prime, right? Didn't he say something on that interview with the Breacher? Did y'all see the Breacher report? That with what's her name, Rooks? That lady is super like dope when it comes to like interviewing. Bruh, I was like, I mean, I'm not a journalist by trade. I had to work with journalists when you're in the film department at UNCG. Sometimes they'll bring the journalists on because you're filmmakers. They'll bring the journalists on, and you guys have to kind of set up the cameras and film them. So I know a little bit about journalism. That lady was dope. The Bleacher Report interview with Coach Prime. Whew, wow, I was like, good God. I mean, one of the club members, Matt Reeves, he sent me that info. So shout out to Matt Reeves. I'm not sure if you're watching, Matt, but shout out to Matt Reeves. He sent me that video, and I mean, for Coach Prime, I know most of his answers, and I already know. So I kind of tuned Coach Prime out, and I started focusing on the strategic line of questioning that she had. And I was like, yo, does he know that this? In the beginning of the interview, he was like, wow, somebody call my mom and tell her I've arrived because she's interviewing me. Bruh, when he said that, I didn't know her before, but when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, she's probably pretty good. She's probably interviewed a lot of people. But her line of questioning, I was stunned. Hey, Damon, let me know if you got the email. I sent it to you. Yo, she was superb. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh. I was like, it was like the follow-ups. The follow-up questioning was like, most people, when they're interviewing Coach Prime, excuse me, guys, give me a second. When you're out of shape and you have sinus issues and then you get sick, bruh, that's the worst combination ever. It does something to you different. If you like me, you know what I'm talking about. Woo, you lose your breath, you're out of breath, you can't breathe, like your mouth are trying to sleep. Lord. If you're new around here, like some pastors would say, if you're new around here, we get a little personal around here. All right, guys. So I am about to bring Damon on. I see a photo. I don't see a picture. Are you gonna show the people? Or are you gonna just show us a picture? What is this? Okay, so I guess it's a call in. So we're gonna bring Damon on, and we're gonna keep it cordial. If you want to come on, hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. I'm gonna type it in right now before I bring him on. Let me put it all caps. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Just send me your email me, and then I'll obviously see your email. Then I'll just send you the link. Okay, I don't want you to put your email out there in case you don't want people to see your email. All right, Damon, let's bring you on and tell me what you got to say, brother. Hello, Damon.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good job. Bandwagon Bus, what's going on?
EWB, all is well. Let me make sure people can hear you. Just give me a second before we start talking. You guys let me know you can hear them. You can hear them nice. There's no feedback. We all good? Anybody? Just one person tell me you can hear them. No feedback. Everything is good. Anybody? Somebody?
Testing 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing. It's a little bit of a delay. Loud and clear. Here we go. Thank you, Swansley. My God. All right, so let us know. Introduce yourself. Are you a Buff fan? Are you a Michigan fan? Where you from? Where you calling from?
Well, I'm out here in California, but my family's out of Michigan, so I always kind of grew up being a Michigan fan. But I am I'll probably say more of a Coach Prime fan. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I did follow Colorado a little bit as a youngster. When they had some of their better teams with like Coach Bieniemy.
Oh, okay.
He's
now with my Washington. What do they call them? The Commanders now.
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, because Colorado back years ago, they used to recruit a lot out of California. I think that championship team they had a lot of players from California.
Okay.
And,
okay. So you guys are from that area of town.
Yes, sir. And I had some class. I had one classmate. Well, not a classmate. But I played like junior, like All-American football. We went to Colorado.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this conversation so these people can hear your knowledge and what you're bringing to the table. All right, so what do you think about the game? You've been kind of active in the comments.
Well, as like I said, I've been a Coach Prime fan. Probably with was at Jackson State. Follow him to the Colorado like most people. But I did think they were going to beat TCU because I thought TCU was a good team, but they did lose a lot of players coming in this year. So a lot of their quality players had left. So I did feel that they were going to definitely beat TCU. I think I put some little wager on that game.
Okay, so you got some money off of that.
Yeah, and let me see. The Colorado State, they definitely should have beat. You know, they definitely got to get that game. It's a group of 5 team. Not I don't think. I mean, Colorado State is good, but I don't think they're on Colorado's level.
TK got me laughing in the comment talking about, bro, your email is hot tips. Pause.
And Nebraska, let me see.
Y'all crazy, man. Go ahead.
Nebraska defense played very well, but that quarterback they had was, he was just not good at all. He kind of he let his team down with all the turnovers he had. He played very poor. But I do think, I hate to break it to you, brother. I do think straight, man. Tips. I do think Oregon's going to get this game Saturday.
Okay, and tell me your reasons. Let's get some reasons why.
Well, okay, I think they have a good run game. They have a good running back. I think his name is Bucky Irving. He's a good running back, and I think when you can control the clock with a good run game, you can dictate the game a lot because you can keep that high-powered offense of Colorado off the field. And if they get a lead, if they get a couple touchdown lead on Colorado, that's going to be a wrap because they could just grind that game out. And
wait, are you when you do this, right? Because I do a lot of pushback because keep in mind that when the analysis is based on what they're capable of, but do you also include what Colorado is capable of in that analysis? They're not just going to come and do what you're saying.
Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely. I think, and then you talk about Bo Nix. Like Bo Nix does not, and I disagree with you I think I missed a little bit, but I heard a little bit. Bo Nix does not have to compare himself with Shedeur. All he has to do is play his game, do what he does best. Don't try to play like anybody else. Just do what you can do. That means don't turn the ball over. Make the right calls. No interceptions. No fumbles. No stupid mistakes. Just do you don't have, as a quarterback, you don't have to play great to win. Just be steady and consistent. I mean, I don't know if you follow the game a lot. You're from Ghana. Matter of fact, I have a good friend of mine from Ghana.
Not Ghana, Liberia.
I'm sorry, Liberia. My bad, Liberia. Trent Dilfer from Tampa Bay. He was an average quarterback. He got a championship. You don't gotta be. You just gotta lead your team. That's it. Don't control. Just play average. Just play. Be consistent. You don't gotta compare yourself to nobody else. Don't try to. Just do your job.
Okay. Well, I don't think I was saying that Bo Nix had to compare to Shedeur. I'm saying because I think because Shedeur is Deion Sanders' son, I feel like when they're talking, they're not necessarily trying to apply the same logic. I've been crying about this all year. If you're saying that Bo Nix has to just go out and play his game, then what about Shedeur?
Just do your job.
But what about Shedeur?
I think I'm not sure how Colorado's going to come out, but based on the first 3 games, Shedeur is throwing the ball a lot. He's throwing the ball 50 plus times a game, which makes him kind of one-dimensional, and it makes the defense for Oregon easier to play because you're not keeping them, you're not keeping them off balance.
Wasn't that circumstantial though?
What do you mean?
Well, you say he's one-dimensional because he's been throwing the ball, but that's
no. I'm not saying he's one-dimensional. I just think I think the run game definitely has to improve.
Right. What if they do? So that's a question for you. If the run game, because your narrative right now is that they're going to lose because of the strengths of the Bo Nix, the quarterback, the wide receivers, but you're saying that they just have to come out and play their game. What happens if Colorado plays their game? Then how do you see it?
But listen, my man. Colorado is only averaging like 6. Check the number. They're only averaging like 61 yards, I believe, a game on the ground. That is like towards the back end of all FBS programs right now in the first 3 games.
Okay.
Now, I know they're supposed to bring in another running back in there today, McCaskill, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I know you're a student of the game. Emmitt Smith, right? all-time leading rusher in NFL.
Okay.
Why was that? You know why he was that? Because he had probably the best offensive line in the league.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not about a good running back. That's awesome, but you better be behind the line. You could bring all the running backs in the world in there, but if that line is not pushing, you're not getting anything.
Okay.
And what I seen from that line is porous. I'm not impressed. So, like I said, you could bring in this new cat in, but it's all based upon how the line works. You got a good line, your running back can run behind him. But like I said, Emmitt Smith, all-time leading rusher. He had big Larry Allen. He had the best line in the league. And then,
we got to push back.
But who gets the glory? The running back. But everybody forgets those linemen that's doing all their hard work, right?
All right, Damon, we got to push back.
What's the pushback?
Indian Carter says Barry Sanders was the best, and he had
no.
offensive line.
The all-time leading rusher. Okay, who is that? You can name all kind of running backs up there. Walter Payton. We can debate that, but Emmitt Smith's a Hall of Famer, all-time leading rusher, not Barry Sanders.
Okay. All right, but you're saying because he was the all-time but isn't their argument credible then? Because
we can name all kind of great running backs. O.J. Simpsons, okay.
But listen to your argument though. Your argument is that you can't really run the ball regardless of who you got back there.
The Lions did have a good line, okay.
All right, so I don't, because obviously this is live. I can't live check. So, okay, this is what I would say about what you just said. I'll let you continue. We are 3-0. I want that to
the running back. What I'm saying is the running back cannot do it by himself. Okay, it's a team game. It's a team ultimate team game. You cannot do it by yourself. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, that's obvious, right? We understand that. You can't. I don't care how great of a running back you are. Somebody has to make the hole for you to run in, or somebody.
Right, and the better the line, the better you're going to be as a running back. I don't see how hard that is to see.
Right, exactly. So I agree with you. I say I agree with you, but here is my takeaway. Colorado is 3-0, and I want that to sink into a lot of people, because what I see is that a lot of teams or a lot of people, they don't take what Colorado is doing and apply it to Colorado. They're 3-0 for a reason, because all the other teams were supposed to beat us. So they're supposed to also show up.
Now Oregon is undefeated too, right?
Oregon is 3-0.
Okay.
Right. But what I'm saying is, how can we not apply Colorado's strengths? We're always talking about their negatives. Does that make sense? It's like always, no matter what, they have nothing, right? They don't have an O-line, they don't have no D-line. But how are they 3-0 with none of that?
Well, they have good quarterback play.
But like you said, it's a team game. Somebody has to protect the quarterback in order for him to throw. Doesn't that? I mean, you see what I'm saying? It has to make sense.
Well, I think they're getting by because they're playing teams that have made a lot of critical errors at critical points of the ball game.
But it also has to make sense. You're saying they're making critical errors. People don't just wake up and make critical errors. Somebody has to cause you to make that error, and it's the team that's making you make the errors. If Jimmy Horn is running a route and it gets this guy to run this way, that's going to cause you to make an error. It's not just errors that are happening out of the blue.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Nebraska game with the quarterback Sims, right? He's dropping snaps that's hitting him right in the hands, okay? Now, that's just bonehead mistakes. You cannot do that. And look, if you look at turnover ratios, if you win a turnover ratio, odds are you're going to win the game.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think at the end of the day, the team that makes the most mistakes is going to lose the game.
Particularly turnovers. And just keep in mind, Oregon has yet to turn over the ball yet this year.
They haven't played the Buffs. They haven't played the Buffs because each team's strength is different. Remember, we were supposed to blow out CSU, but CSU came and played us. So CSU said they haven't played us. They don't know where our strengths are going to come from. They don't know how we're going to exploit. The coordinator's job is to make sure that they find little pockets, little things that are going to, like I said earlier, once we play the first few minutes, we will know this team. Right now, all we got is the scouting report, right? We have scouting report, and we're listening to people like you, right? And we're saying, oh, okay, he's saying, okay, this and this and that. But until we hear hike, and the ball starts, the ball goes into play, we're not going to know. The coordinators are not going to know where and what we're looking at. People are going to start seeing ghosts out there. It's going to be magic on the field because you don't know how Jimmy Horn really responds. You don't know how he runs. Until all you see is him running on tape. But you don't know that for sure until you see it for yourself. You don't know how Shiloh covers until you actually get in a game with him, and then you'll be like, oh, shoot, this is not a joke. TCU found that out the hard way. And so the CSU. So what I'm saying is,
let me
finish this thought. All I'm saying is, let's be fair in our analysis. Let's make sure that we remember that we also have a team in Colorado, because everybody just wants to say you haven't played nobody. So everybody's saying that they haven't played nobody either. So
right, that's what they're saying.
If it's fair across the board, then I can have that conversation. But it can't just be like, oh no, Bo Nix is going to blow them out. That's the same thing they said about TCU and Nebraska.
Well, I see a couple of miraculous comebacks.
Uh-huh.
And then there's not going to be any miraculous comebacks come Saturday.
Okay, so my prediction is that Colorado is going to blow them out.
Okay.
I only see this game.
Okay. All right. My man, this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Colorado win this game.
Uh-huh.
I will order me one of them T-shirts.
Oh gosh.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get one for myself and for my son.
Okay.
That's Saturday. I'm gonna place my order.
And then on Twitter, you're gonna send me a photo with y'all rocking it.
that's what that's gonna be my gentleman's bet. I'm gonna make good on. I'm gonna buy me a couple of shirts. Contribute to the TLP Sports Club.
I appreciate you. Yo, thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too. Excuse me, guys. So that's my argument. That's my biggest overarching argument. It's that let me see here. Is this thing too close? What happened? So my biggest argument is that if you hear the analysis, it always starts with how good the other team is. It's always how good the other team is. We never get or understand that, hey, this is how good Colorado also is. Colorado is also a formidable team. People don't see that because it's Coach Prime. I don't understand. It's Coach Prime, but please understand, this is not a pushover team. It's almost like we're thinking that we took the 1-11 team and we made them a good team, and now they're going to go play. No, we didn't do that. We changed the 1-11 team. We brought in a whole new regime, new coaches, new mindset, got rid of that whole losing spirit out of that building. Now we're all believing, and every game we believe even more. And now that's the product that we have on that field. So this team is resilient. We saw it at the CSU game. The first two games, we beat them. Okay? There were times where we felt like, okay, it was going to get out of hand, but we won those games. We are 3-0, just like they are. So what? Somebody convince me. Nobody can convince me that the other team is just that much better. And nobody knows, in the end, nobody knows how a team is going to respond until you put them on the field together. Forget about what ESPN is saying. Forget about, hold on, let me plug my stuff in before this thing goes off. Give me a second, guys. Hope I don't lose my audio doing this. All right. Had to make sure my computer had the battery. But you guys can still hear me, right? J Hood, what up? NAWF side 3. What is that? North side or north side? Oh, okay. Is that a gang thing? North side, what up? North side 3, what up? Dominic, you been here? What up, man? El Hombre, you still here? When you do your analysis, this is for everybody. When you do your projections and you do your predictions, I want you to also think about the fact that Colorado is also a good team. Colorado is also a formidable team. Don't forget that. If you forget the fact that Colorado is a good team and they have a good product on the field, they know how to play football, then you're going to be one of those people that's going to be surprised when they win. That's all I'm saying. I had us losing. This is one of the games that I'm like, I'm still on my 8-4 trajectory. That we're going to be 8-4 at the end of the season. And Oregon is one of those teams that I had us losing by. But now I'm changing my tone because I feel as if we're able to show up in big moments. And this is a big moment. Because we didn't do so well at CSU, I feel like when we meet a Cal or a Stanford, those teams that people are like, this is not a really great team. I feel like those are the teams that give us the biggest issues. So we might catch an L from one of those teams where people are not really, the anticipation and the excitement is not going to be the same because those are lesser teams in people's eyes. I think that's where we're going to catch a few L's from. But these bigger teams, I'm confident because I feel that Shador doesn't see giants. I grew some confidence because Shador doesn't see giants. And I'm like, thank God. And I'll tell you this story and then I'll let y'all go. I'm playing a chess match and I even recorded the chess match I was going to show you, but I was like, let me not bore these people. Let me just tell you the story real quickly. I'm playing a chess match and I'm doing everything that I do in chess. I'm like a 1700 player. Like at the time, I'm a 1500 player score level player. And I'm playing and I do some crazy moves and then I come up with the win. And then I look up and I saw the rating for the other player. And I saw 1720 something. And I said, OMG, I didn't even know that I was playing a 1700 level player. At the time, I'm like 1500 level. And usually, if you're playing like an opponent if you are aware of your opponent, your psychological, your mind, you perform differently. When I didn't know that I was playing the 1700 player, nothing was in my mind. I didn't have no anxiety or anything. I just went through my game like I usually play. I play my opening moves in chess are going to be like car Zeiss, not car Zeiss. That's the lens thing. Carton something, where I lead with I go up top and then I lead with my bishop, my left bishop, and I try to make sure that he makes a mistake from the top so I can get his queen. I open like that. I played that move every single game. So this time I just played my game normally. I just went through all my checks, just doing everything that I do without even thinking about anything. And then at the end, I realized that I beat this 1700 level player. And this is a really big deal because it's a 1700 level player. Had I known that I was playing a 1700 level player, the moves that I make or that I would eventually make, those moves would be in my brain like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have made that move because this is a 1700 level player. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. So I will be trying to anticipate his moves because he's a 1700 level player. Not just the fact that he's a chess player, but just the mere fact that he's a 1700 level chess player, I will try to make moves based on that, thinking that because he's 17 level, he's going to make these X, Y, and Z moves. So in essence, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I'm looking at a giant thinking the giant is going to do that based on the fact that he's a giant. But this giant didn't do that. He didn't make those moves. The only thing I did was play my game. The regular way that I play every other opponent, It's the same way that I played this 1700 level player. So I had no anxiety. I didn't play myself out of the game. I didn't do anything that I would have thought the 1700 level was thinking because he's a 1700 level player. I just played my game and let the game come to him. And he was the one making the mistakes. And then I eventually ended up beating him. And I beat him, and I believe I made him quit. Because I'm nice like that when it comes to chess, right? I can beat 2200 level players if I want to. But I remember, I know that when I'm playing an opponent and I look at their status and I know what level player they are, it affects the way that I think. So what I'm saying is Colorado is a good team. Just like Oregon, they are well coached. They have a great quarterback in Bo Nix, and Colorado has a great quarterback in Shador. So what I'm saying is, if both teams show up to play, it should be a great game. Let's not discount one team thinking that, oh my goodness, this team is so much bigger, because Shador and the other team are not looking at giants. They're not thinking about, oh, this team is so much bigger. The media is saying they're going to win. Everybody's saying they're going to win. They don't think that way. That's why they were able to handle TCU, to handle Nebraska, because we know that Nebraska and TCU just came from the national title game. Anybody in their right mind would be afraid to think like, oh my goodness, we are about to play the defending national championship people, and oh my gosh, how are we going to get out of this game? Anybody would think that. But we learned a lesson that Colorado is the type of team where they're studied mentally and they're going to show up to play no matter who the opponent is. That's where I'm getting my confidence from, knowing that these kids are not looking at giants the way we're looking at giants, because that's what we do. We look at things when the boss is coming to town, we act differently. When the supervisor is walking on the floor, if you work at a company where the supervisor comes on the floor, you act differently. When the general manager comes to the floor, you act differently. But let's say somebody from the top, the CEO, the CFO, or somebody from that company is coming, and you know that they're big time. You will act or you will move differently. Because we look at giants. We look at things from those type of lenses. Things are big and things are small in our lives. And I really, really like Colorado. I love watching them, and I trust, because I feel like these kids are well led. The leadership is crisp. I'm telling you, the leadership is pristine. And if you look at it from that perspective, and then know that they're prepared just like anybody else or even more, when you know that kind of information, you know that you're going to get a good game or a good team. And then at the end of the day, we're going to either win or we're going to be very close in that game. So if you're going to be analyzing the game, analyze it from the fact that Colorado is also a good team, just like Oregon. Yes, Oregon is good, but Colorado is also a good team. And if you take it from that perspective, you will know that Colorado will be in this game from the time that the bell goes off, from the time to blow that whistle for the game to start. And I want the constituents and everybody, like I told you guys on that stream, believe, never stop believing until we have 0 seconds left on that clock. I don't care how bad it looks. Always believe until there's no time left on the clock. And even when there's 0 time left, still believe. You know why? Because they'll be like, nope, there was a foul that was on that line. This guy, it was a late hit penalty. Put 2 seconds left back on the clock. Let's play 2 seconds. And I'm still believing. Even if it's 14 points, I'm still believing. That's why I'm telling you, because Colorado don't see giants. Shador does not see giants. He is not no respecter of name. Okay? He is not no respecter of name. And the fact that just because he does not respect no name and he doesn't get shook when it comes to like big names in this school, oh my gosh, Oregon and everybody, their uniforms are so flat. Nobody cares about all of that. When it comes time to play, we got somebody who's mature in our quarterback room. We got somebody who can throw the ball. He has the ability. And we got somebody who knows how to put points on the board. And that, at the end of the day, yeah, let me get that. Thank you. And that, at the end of the day, means a whole lot. That should be a lot. That should be part of people's predictions. That is not part of their predictions, and that's why everybody's thinking that we're going to lose again. So come back here, come back here, because you saw when in the beginning of this video, I have predicted 7 months ago that we were going to be 3-0 to start the season. We are 3-0, and I'm once again predicting that we're going to beat Oregon. You can either put some respect on BWB Nation, you know what I'm saying? Bandwagon Buff Nation, go copy your shirt, bandwagonbuffs.com. You can even start putting respect on the name, or at TRP Sports Club, right there on your screen. You can put some respect on our name that we get it right here, okay? We get it right here. A lot of the things that you guys push back on me and you guys say you're crazy, a lot of the things that I have said on this channel, you guys have realized, and I believe if Swansley is still here, Swansley can tell you that you guys push back a lot, and we have a lot of fights back here, okay, in the comments. But a lot of the things that I say, even about Kwamani McLean, when I made that Kwamani McLean video, everybody was like, yo, you crazy, you reaching. Coach Brown confirmed it. So the things that I say here, they're on point. Now, the Oregon game is going to be a good game, okay? It's going to be a good game. But somebody, I got a feeling, brethren, I'm telling you, I got a tape where I'm walking through the TCU crowd in their stadium, and I'm saying I smell an upset. Everybody was like, yeah, whatever. And it was an upset. So 3-0. We're going to be 4-0 by the end of Saturday. I'm telling you, we're going to be 4-0. Just watch for it. And if we lose, we lose. It is what it is. But I'm telling you, we're going to show up to play. Their narrative, 3 touchdowns? No way. Not happening. 3 touchdowns? No, sir. No, sir. Yo, Swansley, I appreciate you. Swansley's been here long enough to know that what I've been saying on this channel has been happening. Okay? Swansley has emailed me, sent me some stuff. Swansley know that, look, I've said some stuff here that have really happened exactly the way that I said it. So, score predictions. I was even in the TCU stadium, and I told you guys how the game was going to end, like a field goal. And that's exactly how that TCU game ended. So you can either believe me and put some respect on TLP Sports Club channel. We're almost 10,000 subscribers. Like, I didn't do that many videos. I was like, maybe by the end of this week, we're going to be at 10,000, and then whatever, I don't know if it was Omarion, whatever came through, it just knocked me out. And I couldn't do no daggone videos. So the numbers just started kind of slowing down. But guys, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. It's crazy. When we started like 9 months ago, you know what I'm saying, everybody had their predictions like, yo, Harry B, we rocked with you. I really appreciate you guys because we've been rocking. Every time I have a live, you guys come in here, we have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And all is well. Coach G, what up? Northside, I think that's how you say Northside, because that person has to be like, yeah, Northside. I think that's what it says. Swansley, you know what it is. Who's on here? Indian Carter, what up? Pete Martinez, what's going on? Come on, Pete, I'm putting you up here. Pete said, we're going duck hunting this weekend. Let's get it. Skull Buffs. That's right. David, I'm putting you up here too. Let me get Pete off. All right. Oregon can't win. CU's winning. Indian Carter said it's going to be legendary. This is going to be a game of the century. This game, first of all, I think we've gone from 7, 8 to 9 million viewers. Again, us spoiled Americans, million is nothing, right? 9 million viewers in the days of social media and people having options. I think now we have more options than we ever had in the history of like televised or mobile entertainment. We are in some different times. For you to get 9 million viewers watching a game on television, I don't know if they're including streaming data or it's just the eyeballs that are tuning into the television, because you can actually stream the game through your cable provider. I don't know how the Nelson ratings calculates that, but 9 million viewers is a lot of viewers. Like the NFL numbers is actually competing with NFL numbers. I'm sure the NFL is like trying to figure out like they can't even talk about the NFL 1 second without talking about Colorado, which is a college football game. After Saturdays, like you would not hear anything about Colorado or any college football team. Maybe somebody did something great that would talk about it, but now it's like all of the daggone talk shows are leading off with how Colorado did on Monday. Monday morning quarterbacks. We talk about the NFL, not college, not college game day stuff. I'm telling you, because of Colorado and how high Colorado is. Colorado wins on Saturday. We're gonna break the internet. We're breaking the internet if Colorado wins on Saturday. I think we're going to break the world. We're going to break everything. That's right, Nathan. That's right. I'm going to put you up there. That's right. So keep in mind that the needle, the goalpost, everything is going to move. Okay? Everything's moving because his son is capable of doing things that other quarterbacks cannot do, but for some reason, when we play a good quarterback, that quarterback gets more reviews or he gets more praise because he's just not Coach Prime's quarterback. He's not Shedeur Sanders. They say Shedor's a good quarterback, but they don't necessarily attribute the win or how great the team is going to do because of Shedeur. They're always saying we're going to lose because they got Bo Nix. And I'm like, so what? But we can't win because of Shedeur? No. Because you don't have a good O-line. Okay, but how do we become 3-0? You can't not just become 3-0 with good teams, decent teams, good football playing teams. If the O-line doesn't do a job, the O-line has to make sure that Shedeur can throw the ball. The O-line has to make sure that Shedeur can actually hike the ball. If they were so bad and if they were so terrible, it's like the O-line. It's like some kids who just started playing football. They would just lay down as soon as they say hike, and Shedeur would be sacked every single time. That's what it's making it seem like. But we're streaming the game on Saturday. If I get any more information, guys, to come up, I'm gonna do another stream. Today's Thursday, so we're gonna do another stream tomorrow for pregame stream. Because when I come, hopefully I provided enough information in this video. If you guys are late, hopefully you go back to the beginning of the video. You can rewatch it. I did present some information. People were talking, bringing information. I showed some highlights. And then I gave you the fun facts about the Oregon Ducks, how they actually got the name the Oregon Ducks. Okay, so every time I do something, I want to bring something. I want to add value. I don't want to just do it to just grab views. But hopefully you got something out of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, but hopefully you got something out of this video. And if you guys don't realize, if you're watching this on YouTube and not because you're not live, there's a lot of great conversations that goes on in the StreamYard stream comments. People are there having conversations. I've been putting up some of the comments. You guys can see some of the comments I've been putting up. So you kind of see what's going on in the comments. So there's a lot of conversations that are happening. But if you have anything that you want to add your voice, go ahead and add it to the video at the end of the stream. But I really want to thank you guys for watching. If we're going to have you guys, when I'm not able to post a video, I'm going to be posting, I'm going to make posts on YouTube. So it's not going to be in video form. It'll just be like in an article form where I add some photos and then we have a discussion from that. But please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to share the video with your friends if you feel like it. And hit that bell notifications, because when I drop a video, the video always has information that I'm sharing with you guys. I'm not just doing it for views, okay? HB, you could be my defense attorney because you have great points. The X factor is Shador. Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Way to keep it 100. I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to share a few of these comments because I know that people are not seeing these comments on the YouTube. Yeah, man. So anyways, I want to thank you for watching. If you are watching it on the restream, make sure to add your voice to the comments. Whatever we're going to have a discussion in the comments. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you. This is my ending. And for those of you who never see my ending, all right, guys, that's all. I'm going to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B, okay? Mr. Bandwagon Buffs, okay? I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club. Good night, guys. Peace and blessings. Love you. Hot tips. Pause. Oh, God.